Okay, so here we are back again, Corey Olsen and Maggie Parke from Other Minds and Hands. So there's been another drop of the bigger
This is the actual
trailer.
teaser.
So this is the actual
This
teaser.
is the
other one
teaser.
was teasing the teaser. This
Correct.
is the real teaser.
Correct.
Right. And it's the
Just leave it there.
Leave it there.
Just leave it there.
The real teaser. That's it. The real teaser trailer. I keep getting corrected. You know, I'm like, oh, I was looking at that trailer, and they're like, you mean the teaser? And I'm like, well,
that was just
right.
the title reveal. That was the
Okay,
line.
right, yeah, no, I obviously have to brush up my nomenclature because I'm totally behind. But anyway, okay, so this is the real teaser.
Yes.
For that Rings and Realms show
Right.
that we were seeing the title reveal of before. Okay, so let's see how this works.
Let's check this out.
Okay. Oh yeah, you hear the full music there? Yeah. Love the book.
Love the fade in.
Yes.
It was coming Middle Earth for the very first time. Ooh, everyone.
Okay, and we've got the map there, right?
Oh yeah, I know him.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I love the music.
Oh man, there's the fanfare I was looking for. Yeah,
There
yeah.
it is.
I was feeling
There's
it.
that date again.
Like the little build up, and
Yeah.
then we just got that. See, that's the difference between a real teaser and a teaser for the teaser.
A teaser's just a
right.
blah, 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 blah.
In a real teaser, you get a fanfare. Boom!
Yeah.
Right. That really that
was
just
lovely.
blew up.
So
That
let's
was
go back
awesome.
to the beginning of that.
Okay, yeah.
And see what we see.
All right. So we've got so the first off music. Right.
Lovely.
That was the first thing that I noticed. Right. We picked up that piano line from the teaser.
The title reveal.
Title reveal.
Yeah.
Nomenclature.
Which is still reminiscent of, like, I think I said Hunger Games in the last one. Like, it is still reminiscent of that kind of like fantastic element, a little bit of the Peter Jackson idea.
Yep.
But it's still separate.
Yep.
So
yep.
nice familiarity.
Yeah. What I loved about this is that we get like the sort of the fuller sort of orchestral sound below it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you still get that piano line, so you get that connection. So I love that how we have so this teaser is twice as long as the other one, right? And yet it's not just more.
It's not just length.
Right. It's depth. It's
Yeah.
richness.
Yeah.
Right. So you get the full, like, as if now
Yeah.
you're getting a glimpse of the full thing instead of just
And a bit more of an idea of what is going to be in it, because the last one was just that title, wasn't it? Whereas
Right,
this, like,
right.
we're getting some props.
Yeah,
here.
we get some
So
imagery right away.
We've got, I assume, a sword hilt, a
Looks
really
like,
intricately
or like
carved.
like an engraved blade here, like some kind of etching on the blade, and then is that pine cone?
Yeah, there's a pine cone over on
Pine
the
cone
side.
looks like, right?
Oh, but see, I
Right.
quite like that, because that's still reminiscent of Rings and Realms as well. So we've got like the earthy, kind of organic-y Harfoots right alongside.
Yeah, kind of capturing both elements of the
warrior realm and the.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of connects with the realms thing, right?
Right.
These are not homogeneous realms,
Right.
right?
They're separate, but in the same space.
Right, but of course we were foregrounding the sword because it's shiny.
Yeah, well,
Right,
it is pretty.
It is.
And it's such a nice image cutting through that as well.
Yeah, I love the lines of it.
Yeah.
Right, how it's kind of.
Directing you.
Yeah, directing over. Oh, I guess over to the pine cone. So there we go, in the distance.
And for those who know the legends.
For those who know
it's
the
a
legends.
Nice invitation, like, oh, know what legends?
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. So because obviously it looks like the Rings of Power trailer.
It does.
Titles, right?
Yeah.
But those were silver. Am I remembering correctly?
Yeah, I think
like
so.
white or silver.
And kind of like broken stone, right? Like a broken stony metal.
In some places, but I don't remember the gold is kind of nice.
I like the gold.
Yeah, the gold is nice. And anyway, but in addition, so we got the reference to the legends, right? And there was similar sort of references in the Rings of Power trailers, where they were especially trying to root the show not only in the books, but also in the Peter Jackson films, right? To sort of show a kind of a through line.
Yeah, not necessarily continuation, but a connection.
And sort of an invitation in that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it very much had a, like, if you liked the Lord of the Rings films, you will also like, right, yeah, I mean, it kind of had that feel to it. But of course, in that context, they're just talking about the legends.
Yeah.
Right? And so the way that this title talks about those who know the legends, right? So that is, we're directing straight to fans, basically, right?
Certainly.
Sort of
I mean, they're basically saying, starting with that, for those who know the legends.
Right.
And then the next one.
Right, the next one, what do we got? What do we move to?
For those who have heard the stories told. I quite like that, too, because that feels like that captures just the film audience. So many of us, myself included, really didn't get into Tolkien until the Peter Jackson adaptations.
Right.
Then I fell hard. But, there's so many people that are just familiar with hearing the stories or seeing the stories.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not the deep legend, lore, and all of that as well.
Right, and as you say, the herd told suggests a different sort of consumption form,
right?
Or at least embraces multiple
different kind of engagement.
While at the same time, it's juxtaposed over the images of books, right? And I love the age of the books here, right? Both in the sense of, sort of rooting it in, the books which are at the root, of all the stuff that has come afterwards, right?
Tolkien's works.
Yeah. But also that sense of antiquity, right? Which is, of course, very appropriate to the whole Rings of Power concept with the Second Age and everything taking place. All this stuff takes place thousands of years before the events of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things about the Rings of Power series is this idea of now we're going back, deeper into antiquity.
And also suggesting like the depth of research potentially, So I mean, these also really suggest like medieval texts to me. So, and Tolkien, as we know, was very familiar with those texts. So bringing some of that level of antiquity, like academic antiquity, into this is really cool.
Yeah, no, very cool. And the way that it's this, like the camera motion here, right? The way that it's
as the words reveal too.
Yeah,
that's lovely.
The sense of three-dimensional motion here, like we're moving
discovering
through.
This, what's on this table, and the fade in, fade out really is just kind of like peaks.
Right.
Just having a little peek.
Very short glimpses. Yeah, very short glimpses.
All right, those who've heard the stories told, and then this I love for those coming to Middle Earth for the very first time.
Yeah.
So everyone is welcome at this table.
Embracing the whole range there.
Oh, you haven't watched Peter Jackson? That's fine. You'll enjoy this still.
Right. Exactly.
Cool.
Okay, and then we got, of course, the map, right? So, and very glimpsey, as you were suggesting, right, of the map, because we've got the sea, right? Belgair, the Great Sea.
Which not everyone's going to know.
Not everyone's going to know, but that will be an unfamiliar name to many people. Like, it's not even, I don't think that name is used. It's on the map in The Lord of the Rings. So if you've spent time studying, like staring at the map at the front of the book, or the maps at the back of the book, you can
find that.
You might know that name, but it's certainly not a name that's going to jump out to a lot of people.
Right.
So that's kind of intriguing.
Almost an Easter egg, like
ooh, look, exactly. Exactly.
But then as you zoom in, you're also seeing the coastline there that you're like, ooh.
Yeah, I keep wanting to see more, but I can't quite. It fades with the, so that would be Linden over there, but just at the shores of Middle Earth, it stops. So that's very teasy. And we've got this, jewelry?
Yeah, it just looks like a little bit of treasure or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, slightly.
It makes it feel more like a personal library with just some random bits flying around rather than like an Oxford library. right,
where you don't normally find piles of jewelry lying around. I hear.
That'd be nice.
But it's also like slightly like a dragon horde-ish, without being like too overtly or too. It's not like full-blown dragon sickness. I'm corrupted by treasure sort of effect.
But it's a nice awareness of like treasure.
Well, yes, because with the whole rings thing, right? And so even thinking about the title that was revealed before, the Rings and Realms, right? This shot by itself kind of juxtaposes the two things, right? That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
We've got a candlestick and some candlelight in the background. The lighting is all very warm colors, as you said, but also
mysterious.
Yes, sort of dim and mysterious.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, that's exactly it.
There's no spotlights here.
No. Not harsh. Gentle lighting? That would be the word. That means not harsh, right? Yeah. Soft lighting. I like that. Okay.
And I love that we start with that massive pipe right on the side.
I said the pipe's so big that I barely even noticed it at first, actually. But so we've got the pipe, which again, very personal sort of sense of it.
And it looks like somebody's bound journal, with one of those leather straps around it or something.
Oh,
so
right.
Is that popped their journal down?
Oh, right. Perhaps with the pipe on top.
Maybe.
Right. Do we know what these sticky things are?
No. It looks like more string wrapped around it.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
Maybe it's string.
And more jewelry just dropped on top.
Ooh, maybe it's I don't actually smoke a pipe, but don't you light a pipe with like a little stick?
I feel like I've seen that.
Yeah.
People.
Is that maybe? Well, I mean, you wouldn't actually want to put that on your book. Right. But potential fire hazard, but then again, that's kind of whatever.
Perhaps they're a distracted scholar. These things happen.
It reminds me of that that scene that makes like library archivists around the world cringe in the Peter Jackson film, where Gandalf is in the archives of Minas Tirith with his like tankard of beer and open
slams
flames,
it down, and
right?
like,
you know,
no.
yeah, I mean, like that scene gives archivists the chills every time it shows up, right?
Who let him in?
Yeah, exactly, right? We're kicking that guy out. I mean, he's reading manuscripts that are like 3,000 years old.
And the elves let him in, right? Like, surely they
know. No, those are humans, but still, I mean, man, yeah, you'd think that even in Minas Tirith they would be better about that.
And I like the name reveal too. You know, I've certainly heard of Dr. Corey Olsen.
Yeah, Maggie Parke is awesome, I hear.
Yeah. But also it's a nice invitation. Like, join them.
Yeah. Join it. Yeah, the join is nice,
yeah.
right? That's it's just you're invited in for a chat, and then of course
you got to do it with the music.
Hang on.
From this.
Yeah. Here we go. Hang on. Oh yeah. Okay. And I've been saying fanfare, but not exactly fanfare. Right? It's not it's triumphant chord.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
which is pretty,
but still
pretty cool.
That simple little note at the end, though, which is also really beautiful. Just kind of a nice period on the piece. Lovely.
Yeah, the way that the chord actually gets kind of enriched as it goes forward. We get sort of new notes added towards the end. Really neat. Yeah.
And it's a great title. It looks really good. I still love the alliteration. You know, exploring
the smoky thing again.
So we'll have some analysis, but we'll have some fun as well.
Yeah. Notice the again the way the smoke and the shadows play over the title, right? Again, the sort of misty, not bright lights. You know, the same.
But there is like almost a single light source there.
Yes.
You know, and we haven't had that, so having that
That's
kind
true.
of whirlwind around that single light source, and it remains. Just a little bit of smoke remains as the date comes up too.
Oh yeah,
which is quite nice.
The date is right. The smoke is just dispersing.
Just going away.
And musically, we get a return to that little piano. Bong. Yeah.
That's so nice.
Oh, I love
cool.
That. Excellent. Well, this is pretty exciting.
It's a good teaser.
I gotta say, it's a pretty good teaser. Yeah. So yeah, this looks like a very exciting show. I think. I don't know. I mean, I from what we've seen, it's hard to tell. Hard to draw too many conclusions.
It's still a little mysterious, but
you always got to be careful with trailers and teasers because you never know.
I don't know what they're going to cut together.
Exactly.
I like that it looks inviting. It looks warm. It looks like there's going to be some investigation, but it's not going to be too over
snooty.
My head or anything. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Again, I love the sort of the casual, but almost like things littered around. Again, not a really stuffy.
And we're really exploring that table.
Yeah.
Like we're going to be exploring that show with those hosts.
With those hosts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sounds good.
Pretty cool. So, all right, there we have it, our breakdown of the big teaser trailer for Rings and Realms. And this looks great. Join us on August 31st. We'll be absolutely there, ready for the first episode. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.